Hi, I'm Barbie, but she calls me Malibu.
And I'm Barbie, but she calls me Brooklyn.
Like us, so many of you have big dreams,
Problems to solve,
fears to conquer,
and cool stuff you want to learn.
We're here to listen and connect you with remarkable people from all over the world who are experts in their fields.
They've chased their dreams, shattered glass ceilings, and made history.
And they didn't do it alone.
Nope. They asked for help when they needed it, and now they're here to help you. Right here on
The Barbie Podcast.
Hey, Dream Team!
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to The Barbie Podcast.
If we sound kind of funny, that's because we're in Malibu's garage. Our guest today has a really cool activity planned that involves using or reusing stuff that's been lying around in here for a while.
Yeah, like this old filing cabinet my mom said we could have, and some leftover paint from when I couldn't decide what color to paint my room.
There are a lot of paint colors here.
Okay, true, but they will not go to waste. Okay, first, it's time for the, you guessed it, the Dream Teamer question.
I got it right here on my phone. Hi, Barbie and Barbie. My school is encouraging us to read books that help us learn about ourselves and the world around us. Any recommendations? What are you reading right now? XOXO Bookworm.
I love this question so much, Bookworm.
Me too. Reading is my favorite. So, what are you reading, Malibu?
Well, the first book of the Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman. It's this great book for readers who are 13 years old or older. It's about this guy named Charlie who becomes friends with Nick, who goes to his high school, but then he starts to have a crush on Nick and...
No spoilers! I was gonna read it next.
Sorry, lip sealed. What are you reading now, Brooklyn?
I actually started I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings by Maya Angelou this morning, and I'm almost done with it. I couldn't put it down. It's a memoir for people 16 years old and up about Dr. Angelou's experiences growing up in the 1930s and 40s and her courage in painful situations.
Oh my gosh, I love that book. I read it a few months ago.
Can you tell, Bookworm, we're pretty much bookworms ourselves?
We are. We love books so much, especially when they tell us something about ourselves, you know, when you really connect with them.
Today's guest is just the person to talk to about that. She's here to make her own recommendations and explain why it's so important to read books all about different types of people.
Her name is Marley Dias. She is a student, a writer, an activist. She started a campaign to collect 1,000 books with Black girls as the protagonists or main characters. It's called #1000BlackGirlBooks, and she started it when she was just 10 years old.
She is only 2 years older than us, but 100% a hero of ours.
She'll be here any minute, which reminds me, we've got to get this filing cabinet out into the driveway.
Oh, yeah. Well, teamwork makes the dream work. Let's just set the microphones down for a sec.
Okay, you got it?
Mm-hmm.
You're good? Yep. Wait, watch your hand, watch your hand. Okay, ready?
Here we go.
Okay, lift it and go. Steady, steady, steady.
Almost there.
Okay, good. Be right back, Dream Team. And we're back.
With the ever-impressive Marley Dias.
Thanks for joining us, Marley.
Of course, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay, we got an old filing cabinet, paintbrushes, and paint cans. Can you tell the Dream Team what we're doing with this stuff?
We're gonna build a little free library today.
Love that. We have them all over my neighborhood in Brooklyn. It's one of my favorite ways to find new stuff to read.
Same. I helped my little sister Chelsea build one once. There are these small structures in public places where people can leave a book or take a book.
Exactly. And we're going to build one out of the materials you've gathered.
Dream Team, if you feel inspired to make your own little free library, you can make one out of all kinds of things, like an old dresser or a mailbox. Or if you want to build one from scratch, you can head to littlefreelibrary.org to get sample blueprints.
Just make sure to ask your grown-ups, especially before you start building.
First, we'll need something to prop up the filing cabinet so it doesn't fall over when it gets windy.
My dad said we could use these heavy planters.
Perfect.
Here we go.
Okay, we got it.
That should work.
Great. Now the fun part. We're going to paint the filing cabinet so that it's colorful and catches the eye of people walking by. Should we each take a side? Decorate any way that inspires you.
Sounds good to me.
I'll take this side.
And I'll paint the front.
Marley, speaking of inspiring, you started the campaign 1,000 Black Girl Books. Where'd you get the idea?
It started as a conversation at a diner in New Jersey with my mom when I was 10. We were eating pancakes, and she asked me how I wanted to improve my school year. I told her all the stories we were reading in class were about white boys and their dogs. I was sick of it. When I was at home, I read a ton of books about Black girls like me. But at school, my teacher assigned books like the Shiloh series or Old Yeller. There's nothing wrong with those books, but I didn't see myself in them. I wanted to relate to the characters in the books at school. I wanted to learn about girls who were going through the same things I was. I told my mom this, and she said, "Well, what are you going to do about it?"
Wow. So with that simple question, your mom encouraged you to make a change.
Pretty much. My mom instilled in me that I had the power and the privilege to do something. While I had access to books about kids like me at home, not all the kids in my class had that. For me to be silent in that moment meant I was denying them the opportunity to see themselves in these stories, which is so important.
So what was the next step?
I spent many nights hunched over my laptop, scrolling, trying to figure out how books entered classrooms and how we think about the stories we tell in schools.
And then 1,000 Black Girl Books was born.
Exactly. It was a book drive to collect 1,000 books with Black girls as the protagonist. But I've gone way beyond my goal. In the past 8 years, I've collected over 15,000 books. We log them into our online database, and we send them to schools and communities all over the world.
I love it.
Hey, Barbie, your side of the library is looking great.
Oh, yeah, Brooklyn, I love it.
Thanks. I've decided to do a purple background, and I'm painting on the names of my favorite authors in yellow.
That's awesome. There's James Baldwin, Octavia Butler, Isabel Allende.
Toni Morrison.
Yup. I love how she said, if there's a book that you want to read, but it hasn't been written yet, then you must write it. Kind of like the work you're doing, Marley. You found the books you wanted to read and made them available to others.
And you're also a writer.
Yeah, I wrote my own book called Marley Dias Gets It Done, and So Can You. It's essentially about how you can use your passions and things you care about to create change in the world as a kid. And I've also written for Elle magazine and Rolling Stone, and now I'm writing for the Harvard Crimson.
That's Harvard University's daily newspaper, right?
That's right. I'm a student there now.
You are killing it. If one of our listeners wants to make a change in their own school or community like you did, what advice would you give them?
That's a great question, Barbie. Kids need to know that their voices matter. I encourage you to be an upstander and a changemaker in your daily life. If you see that there's a problem and you don't have the courage in the moment to do something, go and read. Look back into the past and find people in history who have used their voices for change, like Angela Davis, Marsha P. Johnson, Cesar Chavez, and Ketanji Brown Jackson. These are just some of the amazing people across history who can motivate us to do more. When we learn to love people who look like us, we can love ourselves, and then we can build the confidence to make change.
Wow. What you just said is so powerful. That's why it's important that kids have access to books about all different types of people.
It's really important. We read stories to understand other people and where they come from. We read so that we can learn about and preserve our own histories. Books give you the power to be curious, to be inspired by people who came before you, and to move about your life freely.
I love that. And Malibu, I'm loving how colorful your side of the Little Free Library looks.
Thanks, Brooklyn. I decided to paint a rainbow. I got inspired by Marley's words about representing all different types of people in the books we read. I really hope that our little library here will be a place where kids can come and get books that speak to them. I feel like the rainbow represents that.
That's beautiful. Where did your love for reading start, Marley?
My parents would read to me every night. Stories like One Love by Cedella Marley and Please Baby Please by Spike Lee and Tanya Lewis Lee. This ritual helped me learn new words, it helped me with my mental health later on, and it built a strong foundation in my relationship with my family. And above all, it gave me the love of reading, to which I owe so much.
Which brings us back to the question from Bookworm. What books do you recommend?
I have to recommend Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. Reading that book was a part of the reason I started 1000 Black Girl Books. I knew that there was so much to lose if kids didn't have access to that story or other stories about young Black girls' experiences. But there are also a ton of other books, some of which are here in my bag.
Oh my gosh, you brought all those books with you?
I thought I could be the first person to leave books in your little free library.
That is so generous of you, Marley.
Seriously.
Thank you.
For the little readers, we've got Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love.
Cool.
And Ada Twist Scientist by Andrea Beatty and David Roberts.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Honest June Secrets and Spies by Tina Wells.
Okay.
And the Fairy Rock series by Susan Mawadi Daraj for 8 to 11-year-olds.
Right on. Solway by Lupita Nyong'o. Aw, Daddy-Daughter Day by Pierce Freelon for the younger kids. The Color Purple by Alice Walker. Oh, that's a great one for anyone over 13. Oh my gosh, there are so many wonderful books, Marley.
This is amazing. The families around here are going to love this. Marley, can you tell us about what you painted on the front of the little free library?
This is an outline of Augusta Baker. She's an unsung hero of the literary world who worked in the New York Public Library for 37 years. She did a lot of work on diversity and inclusion, and she really paved the way for me.
She's perfect for this. Oh, and you even gave her a little speech bubble that says, "Take a book, leave a book." What an honor to have this in front of my house. I will take good care of it, I promise.
Once the paint dries, you can put your books in the drawers, and your little free library will be ready to go.
Thank you so much, Marley.
We loved having you here. And now we'll always have this library to remember today.
Dream Team, remember, if you need the courage to make a change, read about the changemakers who came before you.
And most importantly, read whatever book you're interested in. We hope you'll check out some of the recommendations we made today. Don't worry, we put all the books and authors in the show notes in case you missed any. There's also some info on how you can get involved with 1000 Black Girl Books.
Next time you're looking for a book to broaden your world, check to see if there's a little free library near you, or visit your school or public library. We'll catch you next time on
The Barbie Podcast.